player, Ivica Zubac, getting a little change to the Pacers. This is huge for next season. We knew that he was a big target for a lot of folks. I don't know that we thought the Pacers would be it. Benedict Mathurin, Isaiah Jackson, 2 first-round picks and 1 second-round pick go back over to Los Angeles. But Lou, how are we feeling about this one? From the Clippers standpoint, I thought a lot of people just said, all right, well, they're waving the white flag. Is that the vibe you're getting as well?
It's hard to say no, right? Like, you trade away James Harden, you trade away Zoo. Those were 2 core pieces of what they were trying to do in Los Angeles, and now you look at it as a retooling. They were able to go get some young guys to come back. They were able to go out and get some really good draft pieces, some really good draft picks that they didn't have before. So this to me obviously looks like a play for the future. They have an opportunity to go out and get some really good blue chip young talent out in the draft with those protected picks, and they got a great opportunity to start fresh or continue to build around Kawhi Leonard, who has another year on his deal, and before he reaches free agency, they'll give it one more opportunity with these young guys. So I think it was a positive for the Clippers. It looks like they are waving the white flag, but I do still feel like they have enough pieces to compete, especially when you still got Kawhi Leonard who's healthy. It looks like they're still going to compete, but it also looks like this is a move for the future as well. So, I thought they did a great job. I didn't want to see Zoo go, especially with him having a newborn child who's, basically 3 years old at this point, and to be traded, this business can be harsh on a personal level. But, that's the nature of the beast. That's how this thing goes. But I think the Clippers did tool up for the future, and I think it'll do them some good.
Yeah, I agree. I think this was something, to gain some youth back, change it up a little. I don't know if this is necessarily a rebuild, for the Clippers, in my opinion. And I could be wrong. It's more of a retool. They put some youth around Kawhi. Benedict Mathurin, he can play ball. I think he's filling a role in that wing position that could actually flourish next to Kawhi. Obviously, they made a move for Darius Garland, so they definitely put some talented youth around him, gained some assets at the same time. So I think this is definitely a retool, and I'm excited to see, what it looks like moving forward. So I'm not mad at this move from the Clippers.
Okay, so let me ask you this, because Kawhi is the last tree standing. Shout out Michelle for that line. So then you're saying it's good, it's good.
No, so Kawhi got plenty of trees.
I just love it so much. So he's not, so we don't think he's getting moved. We're not looking to next season, we're like, he will actually end up being moved as well. We think that this is part of rebuilding around him or retooling around him. I
mean, and we could be wrong. It could. That he's the last standing piece, obviously. So that could be an all-season move that is made. And, it would make sense as well because, if you're now going this young and you're getting assets back, you may move on from your older aging superstar. So that could make the summer really exciting if that was the case. And I know there's some teams that will be lined up to send offers that way. So I got a few in mind.
And also, let's not forget how we got here with Kawhi Leonard. It got to make sense for him. For him to want to go somewhere, for him to be moved, right? And so if they don't put the pieces around that makes sense for him to compete for a championship that he feels like, they're absolutely going to move around. Remember, he wasn't coming to the Clippers until they decided, hey, look, I'm coming, but y'all got to go get Paul George. Y'all got to put some pieces around for this to make sense. Everything clears out, you go out and get James Harden, you go out and get different pieces. I don't see this any different. If they don't go out and they go get some guys that he can look around and realistically say, at this point in my career, this gives me an opportunity to compete for a championship or put us in that conversation, and it don't make sense, we might have to start looking at other options. So I think this is going to have to make sense for the Clippers and for Kawhi Leonard as well, for him to stay past this next season as well.
My goodness, if we go into the summer and it's Giannis, Kawhi, these are the guys that are on the move.
Crazy summer.
It never ends. All right, math time. So one of the first-round picks going to the Clippers is the Pacers' 26th first. That is a 1 through 4 protected and 10 through 30 protected. Now, if your brain already shut up, join me. But the sweet spot for the Clippers is actually picks 5 through 9. Is there a world in which I guess there is, Lou. It could backfire against the Pacers. It's just part of this is luck, right?
Yeah, it could, but right now I think listen, if healthy, I think Indiana gets better by bringing in Zubac. So a lot of this stuff is still pending. We're going to see how it all plays out. I think both teams took a gamble, and I think it's going to work for both parts. You add Zubac to an Eastern Conference that doesn't have a lot of dominant big guys. That size is a luxury. Size is something that's needed, and you add somebody like him to the mix when a Holly can get healthy. You got Siakam, who's having an All-Star year, as you can see. You have him, and you have some other different pieces. Nembhard as well. They got better. But this is a move for next season. Everybody's looking for the future. The Clippers, they got younger. They feel like they're getting better. We haven't even mentioned Garland in this conversation.
Right.
He's also in uniform over there with the Clippers. So both teams went out and did and looked into the things that they needed to get better at, and I think it works for both sides.
I find the Pacers thing interesting because we knew the minute Halliburton got hurt that this was just sort of going to be a wash a bit, and it has been. Obviously, they're at the bottom. Is it not crazy to think that when we start this bad boy up again next October, are we looking at a top 4 team in the East when everybody's back and healthy?
I think so, and especially with this move for Zoo, very serviceable. Great rebounder, great rim protector, can finish around the basket with both hands. I think they got a lot better. So, and adding him to the additions you already have with Siakam, Nembhard, and Hallie coming back, they're definitely going to be a really, really good team. So I like this move from both. Like I said, and Lou said, I like this move from both sides. I think both sides got better. I think they benefited long term. So I think it's a win-win for both.
Boogie, the way the Hornets are your team, the Pacers were Lou's team last season. So I want to make sure, like, Lou, I want to check in with you. Like, how are we feeling? Okay, yeah.
I feel good. And I've long apologized for my criticisms and my lack of knowledge from the Indiana Pacers. I said I wasn't watching Indiana basketball, and they went on to go to the NBA Finals in the same season.
They really did.
I was wrong.
Yeah.
I have no problem with saying that I was wrong. I'm a fan. Obviously, this is a different basketball team. They have a different personality and swag when Holly is in uniform. I can't really give them top 4 yet because everything is still pending. I still like where Detroit ain't going nowhere. Boston ain't going anywhere. New York still is in play to make some major moves. The Sixers are trending up. Toronto is trending up. It's a lot of teams that addressed a lot of their different needs that they needed and got better during this free agency going into next year. That I don't think Indiana just walks into a 4th spot. I think it's going to be a fight. I think the East got stronger as a whole after this deadline.
Yeah, the Eastern Conference. I'm kind of happy they made as many moves as they did. Speaking of, there were I thought 23, 24.